Hey everybody, what's going on? It is Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to do a short review of some new Wingspan cards. You know I love Wingspan, I have everything for Wingspan, so when these came out, I had to have them. Now these are fan-designed bird cards from different regions. There's Europe, Asian avians, birds of the USA, birds of Canada, birds of New Zealand, and British birds, okay? So these are going to add mostly just more birds, different birds that are not in the game, which is crazy that there are that many birds, and maybe some few different keywords and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to dive into some of these, and we'll look at it, and we'll go from there. So let's do one at a time, and we'll start with New Zealand because, you know, Kiwis. All right, so in the pack, there's a little bit of a rule card. Let me see if I can get it. So we have some bonus cards here. A rule card. It's going to clarify some bonus cards. So now these cards are going to introduce for cartographer goal, island, New Zealand, shore, and south. And photographer, a new color of magenta. Okay? So that's going to clarify some of the cards if you need that. There's some notes of the design and all that stuff. But everything you're going to need is on this card. You don't really need this card. Okay? So it's going to do a little bit of clarification. So if you're playing with these, make sure you have these handy should the card come out. Now, I'm not going to go into all these cards, but, you know, this is a when played ability, draw 2 cards. This is a when activated, reset the bird feeder. If there are no mice in the bird feeder, put 1 on this bird. So again, a lot of this stuff's going to be the same. There's end of round. There's when activated, there's end of round. There's once between turns, which is been introduced. I think there might be some yellow ones as well. Let me see here. Yeah, here's another card. There's some yellow cards here. Game end, get some extra actions. So yeah, these are pretty cool. I mean, I'm not hating on new birds. Some new words for the goals. I like all of that. That's a cute little bird, rifleman. So I'm not gonna go through every one of these birds because that would just be insane. And then some of them also have the wild, which are clarified in these cards here. So if you're not playing with, I think that's Oceania, you can leave those out. So those are the New Zealand birds. Okay, now let's get that one out of the way. What should we look at next? How about, I'll save the USA for last because I like to see the other birds from other countries. So let's go to British America adjacent. All right, I'm just kidding. Don't get on me. So there's the thank you card. This one just has 1 rule card. So this is going to add Dartford, Eurasia, Europe, Manx, Marsh, Meadow, Sandwich, and does that say Sandwich? Yeah, Sandwich and Tundra, and then a new color of tawny. Or tawny, and it's going to give some clarifications. So remember, if you're playing with these cards, this is going to be the underlying thing. You're playing with these cards, make sure you have that card available. So we're going to have, you know, a when played ability. I'll put these kind of like this so we can see. Move this over. Once between turns. When activated. Round end. So there's lots of different birds in here. Again, a lot of the stuff is similar. When played, all players lay 1 bird on their birds with a certain kind of nest. So, you know, that's normal stuff, but it's just fun to have more types of birds, more ways to get to score goals, more variety. There's even some of these birds. Let me see if I can find one. I don't know which pack it's in, but they'll have, like, you know how like some of the goals are which way their beak is facing? Well, some of these cards have 2 birds. So they count as both ways, which is pretty neat. And some of them, the beak is facing forward, doesn't count at all. So if I see one of those, I will point that out because that's kind of a cool new thing. At least I don't remember seeing it in the actual cards from the base game. So, all right, so those are the birds from Britain. I can't get it back in there, so we'll just do this. Actually, let me put it back in. I don't like it, and I want to be able to show everything at the end. Okay. There we go. All right. So we're going to go Europe now. Europe. So here's the thank you card. We'll put that back in there. Just one clarification card. It's going to add, for the anatomist, foot. Oh, that's cool. Alps, Eurasia, Europe, Albania, Italy, Mediterranean, and marsh. I thought we've had foot on there before, but like there, I thought there was the blue-footed booby, but maybe not. Booby. Okay, so we're gonna do. So here's all of these birds here. I'm gonna look for a double beak so you can see that, because those are pretty cool. Again, some of the similar kind of vibe here. So here's a round end. If this bird is in the same habitat as a bird with a scavenger power, lay 2 eggs on it. That's pretty cool. I love the scavenger birds. They're like my favorite birds. So if I can get any of those, I'm happy. You can kind of see these birds as I'm laying these down. It would take forever if I read through all these, so I'm not doing that. I know there's some that have 2 bills. I've seen them when I was looking through them originally. Okay, not in here. All right, well, we'll keep looking. So those are the birds of Europe. Again, this video is not going to be super like in-depth and detailed. I understand that. I'm just going to show it off, tell you some things that are different, some things that are new. If you played Wingspan, you're going to know a lot of this stuff already, so we don't need to belabor the point. It's just more cards for a game that has a billion cards is always fun. All right, here is Asian birds. All right, so here's the thank you card. Ooh, there's a couple rules here. All right, so we have, this is going to change for anatomist. We're going to have ear and heart. Cartographer, Bali, Bengal, China, Duria, India, Luzon, Nicobar, Pacific, Steppe, Sea, South, Sulu, and Taiwan. And photographer, ooh, we got some new colors. Blood, copper, crimson, and pink. Ooh, I love it. And then some clarifications on the cards and Ottoman. So, again, keep this handy if you're playing with these extra birds. All right. So, let's see if we can find some double birds this time. Because that's a different change. And I think that is actually like, you know, a gameplay feature. Oh, there's also some that can't fly. I don't know which sets that's in, but I'll talk about it now. There's some birds that can't fly, and they have, if you scavenge, oh, here we go. We'll talk about that. If you scavenge them, you automatically get to eat them because they can't fly, because their wingspan is irrelevant, which is pretty cool. And they might be in all the sets, but I remember specifically reading it in one. So that's a cool new change as well. Some of these have more of the yellow cards. Some of these have more of the when activated cards. This one has a lot of wind blade cards, which is cool. Okay, so here's like the double one. There's 2 birds in this nest. The great eared nightjar. There's 2 birds, and they're both facing the same way. So this would be, you know, 2 birds facing that way. There is some other cards where the birds are distinctly facing opposite directions, which is cool. So that's kind of a new thing you can look out to help you with some of the gold cards. So those are the Asian birds. We'll move on from there. It's kind of hard to get these back in the blister packs, but you're probably not supposed to. All right. Then we're going to go to Canada. Okay. Thank you card. Just one card of rules. So this is going to add anatomist. We got tuft. I really thought that was in there already too. And then ivory for photographer, ivory, rufus, and rust. So new colors, and then a little clarification here. Again, keep this with you if you're playing with these cards. Okay. So let's see what we got here. Ooh, game end. For each bird in your green habitat with worm or berry and its food cost, including this one, cash 1 worm or berry on this bird from the supply. Ooh, that'll give you points at the end of the game. That's nice. I like that. I like that. Okay. I'm looking for more birds that are 2, because I think that's cool. Does this one fly? I can't. I don't know what birds fly. So, but just keep in mind, some of these don't fly, and I think it will say. It says on the clarification card which birds aren't are flightless. So you can, when you're playing, you can sort that out, and you know they're easier to scavenge, which is cool. I mean, for the game, not for the bird. Okay, so no double birds on this one that I saw, but lots of wind activated powers, a couple end of round powers, and wind played. I actually kind of like some wind played powers too, because then, you know, you don't have to think about them as much. You can just kind of play them and forget about them. So those are the Asian birds. Now we'll go back to, we'll finish with the birds of the U.S. because these are the birds that, you know, because I live in the U.S., they have the greater chance to see some of these birds. We have the thank you card, and then we have the clarification card. So we're going to add Acadia, Cliff, Meadow, Scrub, and Virginia. A new color of Scarlet. And again, some clarifications here. Just a couple. Only 5 of the birds. So there you go. Oh, here's a double. There's a double, and they're both facing the different direction, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's fun. I like that new twist. I know it's just a little thing, but I enjoy it quite a bit. So some of these, you know, are going to feel a lot like the regular cards in the game. This is like a mouse bird. It's real weird. Or like a bunny bird. It's got bunny ears. Okay. Is that 2 of them? No, it's on, okay. It's not. It's on a branch. Okay, so these are all the birds. And again, there's flightless. The main changes in all of these, which I guess while I'm putting these away, I'll talk about. The main changes are the flightless birds, the adding new colors, and new locations for gold cards and like new body parts and all that kind of thing. And the birds facing a couple different directions with their beaks. Okay. Otherwise, this is not going to change the game. It's not going to make you like the game if you don't already like the game. It's not going to make you hate the game if you like the game, because why would you hate something that's just more goodness? But this is going to give you more variety to play with, more stuff to, you know, more cards to dig through, more times that you can play this game without seeing a lot of the same birds to just give it more replayability. So those are the 6 fan design bird card packs from Stonemaier for USA, Canada, Asian birds, continental Europe, New Zealand, and British birds. And I am Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.